Hello guys, how are you? Today we're going into another OUTBOX review. This time the Apollo spacecraft and interior on 1/32nd scale from Revell. It's a celebration of the 40 years back then, of the 40 years of the landing of the man on the moon. One thing I have to tell you firstly, this one is a reboxing for Monogram. Monogram, as usual, does great kits, fantastic kits. The ones I've built so far, I don't have a single complaint about them. Even the fact that it has raised panel lines, which for me, for those who appreciate, for those who like to paint and to be on the groove painting, it's just a small detail, that's all. So this one is a Revell, a Monogram, but the reboxing by Revell, sorry. It's the Apollo spacecraft and interior. As you know, the Mercury was the first step towards the moon. It was a one-man vehicle to open the flight from suborbital flight to short duration orbital flight with controlled re-entry. The second step, which you saw me build last week, was the Gemini. The Gemini was the second vehicle with a two-man crew, an introduction of a service model that contained storage for in-flight experiments, and well, the Apollo. The Apollo spacecraft is a third generation of manned spacecraft. This is the development directly of the lessons learned with Mercury and Gemini. Here is a kit that, let's open the box and see what's inside. Actually, it will be the first time I'm opening this box, so bear it with me please, okay? Just bear it with me. So, the box first. Very cool box art, right? It's huge, this one, okay? Again, some this is how the kit, after its completion, it's built. As you can see, it has transparent walls. These are the cryo tanks, the famous Apollo 13 cryo tanks that they had to be stirred and caused the explosion of all this section. These are the, there it is. So, little box art, and let's see what's inside. Well, let's try to see, because lately I've been struggling with some boxes, like the one with the Saeta. This kit cost me 40 euros, which I don't think it's very. These are the paints needed. Okay. This kit brings also some paints. Here it is. I never use them, but they are a very cool acquisition, let's call it, for you know, for some paint stack and okay. Now everything comes in one big plastic. Okay, we had to open this sooner or later, so let's do it. Just bear it with me, or press the X fast forward button, like I used to say. Okay, now, as you see, I just opened this with you. You saw me buying this kit yesterday when I was on the video, a trip to my model, local hobby shop. So this cardboard is history. It's just support, something that I need. Well, let me open this, and we talked about it a little bit later, okay? Let's do some video editing here. Well guys, after almost 5 minutes struggling with plastic, here's what the kit looks like on its sprues. I'm not wearing gloves, not to look professional, because I'm not, only because of that. The less I touch clear parts with my hands, the better. They don't grease, they don't. As you can see, these are the transparent, the clear parts with some panels, some panel details also, which is kind of cool, as you can see here. Okay. Here it is. Like I said, monogram, typical monogram, raised panel lines, but hey, no problem for me. No problem at all. Doesn't look a very complex kit to build. It's fun. May rely on the fact that it's just glue and paint. Even because it's rated as a level 5. Actually, I'm looking at the box. It's rated as a level 5, but honestly, I don't think so. Being a monogram and being so obsessed like I am on the age of the kit itself, I tried to research here and I found this 1970. So, monogram, made in China. Revell monogram. It's a 1970 kit released by Revell to celebrate the 40 years of the landing on the moon. 1 year after the man landed on the moon, Monogram did this kit here, but Revell released it 4 years ago to celebrate the 40 years, so no comment on that. So guys, this is a 1/32 Apollo spacecraft with and interior. It's not a kit. Oh, by the way, this is the usual. Sorry. Let me see the instructions. this will not be let me take this now, sorry. Yep. Let me see. I don't know. I just don't know. This green, I don't know. We'll have to see that later. Maybe this is for the astronauts, for the astronauts. Typical 1960s, 1970s, right? The letters, the way it is displayed. I don't know if I'll paint this, or usually I don't use decals, but sometimes here it is. As usual, a lot of ink, a lot of paint. Typical Revell instructions. With 51 steps. 51 steps. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. A very simple kit. The decals are not... I don't like decals, honestly. This is a kit that I will build, and I hope you enjoy it. And you guys like this, you can have an idea, those who don't know it, about the kit itself, okay? So, all the best to you, and as usual, you keep modeling. Keep modeling, guys.